Do you ever feel like your weekends are just a continuation of the hamster wheel that is your regular week? Sunday evening rolls around again, and not only do you not feel rested enough, but you start feeling anxious about Monday morning to come back again. You might need a French lifestyle weekend makeover. Join me today as I'm sharing 6 little tips of easy things I have been doing for years to add a touch of French charm and magic every weekend to feel rested and rejuvenated. Let's get started. Welcome to Living Enchante. I'm Lauren, and today's video is sponsored by AMZChef, and I'll tell you more about them in just a little bit. My first tip for you is don't fill up your weekends with events, even with the good stuff. It's so important to plan in lots of white space and empty time for our weekends. This allows us to go with the flow and actually plan in time for spontaneity. So as we feel like doing activities and events, we're able to do those in a way that feels really nourishing and rejuvenating. It's really hard to fall into this trap because weekends are so fun. So there's always stuff going on, festivals, parties, events, celebrations. I know I've fallen into this where there's so many things happening on the weekends for the kids to do. Earlier in the week or even weeks before, I sign them up for these cool little things that they can get into. And then that weekend rolls around and I'm like, why? Why did I do this to myself? I would so much rather just stay home and eat breakfast together and watch a movie or something fun like that, play out in the yard. So if you plan in this amount of white space, empty time on the weekends, it really adds this sense of just being able to let your hair down, because that's what the energy is once you wake up on Saturday morning. You just want to be able to be free and just have this time that you want to do the things that you want to do. So don't fall into the trap of scheduling your weekend packed full, even with the fun stuff, which leads me to number 2. Number 2, let's talk about adding some charm to your Saturday morning. Saturday mornings are for puttering around. Here's what I mean, and here's exactly how every weekend goes for me. By Friday, I am totally exhausted. I just want to chill. I have all these plans to lay around and watch TV and do a bunch of nothing on Saturday morning. I wake up on Saturday morning, go slow, drink my coffee, watch TV for about 10 minutes. Then I start doing this and I'm thinking, what do I want to get into now? That is so magical, and I try to fight it, but once I get into that flow of puttering around, it just feels so good. There's little projects to be done around the house, nothing major, nothing that feels pressing or not fun. Just, tidying a little space, walking around outside, going and, enjoying your yard, maybe doing some gardening, cleaning up something that you haven't gotten to in a while. Every now and then, flinging open the garage and doing a big overhaul. Anything fun like this, Saturday mornings are so good for, and before I know it, it's 11 o'clock or noon, and it just feels so good to have done something really nourishing. You've worked up a sweat, you're ready to go take a shower, and you've just had a great Saturday morning doing something really fun. Around this time every Saturday, my mom actually calls me and she says, "Hey, what you doing?" And I say, "Oh, puttering around. What about you?" And she's like, "Yeah, me too. I've cleaned out my closet, cleaned out my attic, cleaned out my garage, done all this fun stuff." And it just feels fun. I really love this one specifically because I'm such a huge fan of doing low effort tasks that have really high impact and just make you feel good and your home feels, clear and happy and calm. I do just have a video that I published last week called Instant Home Refresh. So if you want ideas on exact things to do, especially while you're puttering around on a Saturday morning, go check that one out. One of my friends commented recently about how our ancestors needed to rest on the weekends because they did so much physical labor that they needed to actually rest their bodies. But for us in the modern day, we actually need a mental break. You know what I mean? We are all so into working on our computers and doing things, that take a lot of brain power. So to be able to actually get into our bodies on a Saturday morning and move around and do something like this, it's actually very relaxing. It sounds like more work, which is the opposite of what you want to do on a Saturday, but it's actually relaxation and meditation in motion. And that's why this is dramatically powerful and something that will add a lot of magic and charm to your weekend. Number 3, time to get outside, but no major sports here. Just go to a park and relax. Take a blanket if you want to, or find some comfortable picnic chairs and just savor the day. You don't have to do anything. Just enjoy the time with people that you're with, or take a book to read, or just sit there and stare off into space. That's really one of my favorite things to do at a park. Just go soak up the sun, breathe the fresh air. This is something that I have seen French people do so many times, just being. And I think that the rest of us can really benefit from that. Just sit still, let your thoughts come in, push out all the noise that you've had during your week and all the chaos and, stuff that's been going on. And just take time to wind down and slow down the pace. Look around. You can spend hours at a park just being there, chatting, eating some snacks, taking some good drinks. This is a true luxury. So absolutely try this weekend if you can. After that, I also love to pop by a cafe on the way home from the park to have a coffee, maybe some lunch, depending on the time of day, or an early dinner, or just a little snack with friends. This is so fun. Have a nice cappuccino or anything that you want to do to just really unwind and continue to add that beautiful slowness, but really powerful magic to your weekend. It just feels so rejuvenating to really slow down. It's like you're in slow motion, soaking in life, soaking in nature, and of course, drinking some delicious coffee. Today's video is sponsored by AMZChef, who sent me this beautifully engineered juicer. And I can honestly say I've been using it every single day since it arrived. And that alone says everything. There's something deeply grounding about beginning the day with a ritual that makes you feel vibrant from the inside out. For me lately, that ritual has been fresh juice, which is something I haven't been indulging in over the past year or so since my third baby was born, because with my old model, it was just so complicated to make. But this one from AMZChef has made it so simple to re-engage in this beloved daily wellness ritual. I've been making a juice every day around 4 p.m. for an afternoon pick-me-up, which makes my evenings feel so much more calmly energized. And I make enough to have another glass the following morning to wake up with even more pure energy. What immediately stood out to me is how effortless this juicer is to use. There's no complicated prep, no loud mechanical chaos, and no sense that you're taking on a time-consuming project. The extra large 5.8-inch feed chute means that I can juice so many fruits and vegetables without stopping to chop everything into teeny tiny pieces, which makes such a difference when you're doing this as part of real life and not a perfect morning fantasy. There's a built-in safety lock, so it automatically stops if the lid is open, which feels thoughtful and reassuring. The machine itself runs at a slow 60 RPM using a multi-stage masticating system designed to extract more juice while preserving flavor and nutrients. What that translates to in real life is juice that tastes incredibly fresh, smooth, and alive. It's also noticeably quiet, which I appreciate more than I realized I would. Cleanup is effortless, which is absolutely make or break to me because I can't be bothered to do complicated cleanup. It's one of those rare appliances where the design feels considered, simple but ingeniously so. I've been rotating between a few favorite recipes. A green juice with apple, orange, kiwi, kale, celery, cucumber, and ginger when I want something crisp and clarifying. My personal favorite, which I call the Sacred 7 Sunrise. Apple, orange, pineapple, carrot, ginger, fresh turmeric, and beets. Deeply nourishing and grounding. And on busy days, the simplest one from the included booklet that comes with the juicer, just green apple and kiwi. Elegant, bright, and incredibly energizing. AMZChef has over 20 years of juicing expertise behind this design, and it shows from the triple filtration system that creates an ultra smooth juice to the overall durability and performance. This is a machine that feels built for truly elegant daily life, not just good intentions. If fresh juice is something you've wanted to make part of your routine, but past experiences felt cumbersome or overwhelming, this makes it feel genuinely achievable, even luxurious. You can find the AMZChef juicer linked below if you'd like to explore it further. I hope you love yours as much as I have. Number 4, invite some friends or family over to your home on Saturday evening or for a Sunday lunch. This is so enjoyable and it doesn't need to be fancy. A lot of times the small casual touches of a meal together mean so much more and create a more homely, lasting memory than a perfectly curated dinner. I host constantly at my house. We have dinners all the time. It seems like at least once a week, sometimes more, somebody is over for dinner or a group of people are over for dinner. And this wouldn't be attainable for me because I have 3 kids. I have a lot going on. If I was serving from platters, I know that seems romantic, but it's kind of hard to do. And for me, it would make me put off having people over if I felt like it needed to be perfect. I oftentimes just make a huge pot of something, a big soup or some pasta or something delicious, get some fresh bread from a bakery if I don't have time to bake it, some fruits and vegetables, anything just nourishing and simple. I often just serve it kind of buffet style on the kitchen counter and people can eat however they like, and we kind of just sit around and talk and enjoy our time together, and it's so connective. My house is not perfect at all times. There's often toys out or, you know, this and that going on, different projects going on, but it's not about it being perfect. It's just about connecting. I often get this sense, at least here in America, that hosting and entertaining have turned into such a chore that people just avoid doing them altogether. I actually think it's because people just have fallen out of the charm and habit of having other people into their homes. It's all about meeting somewhere for dinner, going here and there, but those things are not as charming in the big picture because being in someone else's home is so intimate. It's so connective. You get to see how other people live, their little quirks and things that make them them, all of their home essences. And there's no pressure to be transactional when you're in someone's home the way that there is when you're in a restaurant or somewhere else like that. So don't be intimidated to invite people over. Just pick a meal that you already love or ask people to all bring snacks. Have kind of a finger food potluck. This is something we do all the time. Everybody brings a little hors d'oeuvre of some sort and we just sit around and enjoy snacks and have a good time. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just grab your phone right now and invite some people over this weekend. Number 5, bake something. Baking is meticulous by nature. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing and how much ingredient you're adding to each thing. And because of that, it's also meditative by nature. It's another way that we can move our bodies and do things in a way that is deeply relaxing and restorative. The best thing about baking too is that you get to eat delicious things at the end. So this is one of my favorite things to do, especially on the weekends. I don't worry about making too much mess. I grab my kids into the kitchen. Everybody just has fun. We often serve whatever we've baked, you know, if people are coming over that weekend, or we just have it ourselves for tea time. But if you're new to baking, just find a really easy recipe, something fun to start with, cookies or some really simple yeast bread. Or if you have already been baking for a long time, just map out time in the kitchen this weekend to just sink into a really complicated, fun baking project that you've never done before. Get the ingredients in advance if that will help you, and your recipes ready, so then you can just enjoy some time in the kitchen, all the smells that are so evocative of love and magic. And it's really connecting, especially to bake with other people in your family and then to serve it to others that you love. So bake something this weekend and let me know what you choose to make down in the comments. And finally, number 6, go to the country for a night or two, or just get out of the area where you live. Even if you're going just a little while away, find a place to stay for the night and enjoy that time. I always say that a change of scenery can heal almost anything. My parents live about 45 minutes away from us, and so often we'll go there just for a night on the weekends, and I swear it feels like time expands. Whenever I come back home the following day, I feel like I've been there for a week or two. Time just slows down. It's so good to just have a change of scenery and to be somewhere else, being in close connection with others or just with my own family. And it's very healing to do that. You don't have to make this fancy either. It's all about the small, simple pleasures. My parents have a little hillside vineyard, and I love to just take a cup of coffee out while my kids are running around inside or outside and just walk and stroll, look at the lake, and just sometimes I'll just plop down on the grass and just sit there and do a bunch of nothing too. This is a great way to spend the weekend. I can't think of anything better. So in America where I live, like if somebody tells me that they have a weekend home or a second home, I instantly can tell that they're like a multimillionaire, because most people don't do that here. But in Europe, I think it's really common to have either a little weekend home in the country or a family home that you share with others. or some other place to go to just get away. And this is not fancy. These places are not fancy at all. In fact, when I used to live in Finland, I learned that a huge percentage of the population had little summer homes that they would go away to on the weekends. So I instantly thought, wow, these people must be loaded, all of them. But a lot of those little summer cottages didn't even have running water or electricity, but it was so charming. And that just added to the magic of it. It wasn't about luxury in the material sense. It was about the luxury of getting away from everything and getting away from all the materials of your week and just unwinding and going swimming or having something for dinner that's been grilled outside, sitting around with everyone and just listening to the sounds of nature. It's so relaxing. And then when you get home and you're setting things out for Sunday night, getting ready for the next morning, for Monday to start all over again, you have this enormous feeling of like your whole body, all of your cells have just been regenerated because you have had such an influx of fun and pleasure and slowing down. So try that and it will absolutely change the way that you pace yourself through the week. I hope you enjoyed this episode today and got some great inspiration to make over your weekends with a little bit of French charm. It's just irresistible. Let me know in the comments which one you're most excited to try, or if you have other little things that you like to do on the weekends to feel that true sense of settling into your own skin and just feeling great and rested. All right, I would love for you to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this so you can get more content like this, and I will see you next week.